Good morning everyone, and welcome back to another day in the life video. This week is a very big week because it's NPTE exam week. So that means that I'm going to be in clinic on Monday and Tuesday, and then Wednesday I have off because I'll be actually taking the exam on that day. And then I'll be back on Thursday for Halloween to finish off the week back in clinic. As I was saying last week, we have been taking on more and more responsibility, and I am basically taking on everyone that we have run into, with maybe some exceptions that we might run into. But I guess we'll see how it goes this week, but I'm excited for it, and it should be a good week overall. Whew. Well, yesterday was a pretty good day overall, considering I had started off the morning. I can't remember if I had said with my fire alarm going off at 1:30 in the morning, just because it was low on battery, so I had to wait for everyone to come and fix it from the emergency maintenance team, especially because my ceilings are very high. So that was not the best way to start the week, and I think I'm still feeling a little groggy as a result, trying to kind of catch up from that. But I think today should be another good day. We have some new plans for some of our rehab patients where they're probably going to be getting out of here earlier, some by the end of this week, some by sometime next week. So it's always exciting to hear when people are getting out of here earlier, but we have to figure out some good things to work on with them in order to give them the best boost possible before they go home. So that's going to kind of be the plan today, and then when I get home, finish my NPTE studying before I take it tomorrow. As my anatomy professor in DPT school has always said, happy celebration of knowledge day. Today is the day that I am taking the NPTE. It's the big test day, so I am excited to kind of get it over with, and knowing that I don't have too many nerves right now, I feel like that's a good thing. But as soon as I get into that testing center, I'm sure that there's going to be a lot more of those feelings as I get closer. But I'm just spending this morning really focusing on getting everything together, making sure I have my 2 forms of identification needed at the testing center. I have my lucky socks on to give myself that extra bit of luck during the exam, since I have worn those for every single test, at least big tests, that I've taken within PT school so far. And then I am dressed nice and warm and comfy in my sweatshirt, just because I know that it's going to be pretty cold today. It might even potentially snow while I'm in the test, so I might come from a non-snowy environment to a snowy one after I get out. But it will be a great day overall, just getting it done and over with. I know that a few of my friends are going to be at the same testing center as me during this morning exam, so it will be nice to know that I have a couple of them there with me at that same time, and then I have the rest of the day off where I don't have to go to clinic, so I just get to rest and recuperate after getting it done before heading into clinic again for my last day of the week tomorrow on Thursday, which will also be super fun because it's Halloween, and I'm excited to get it done and just move on with the week. Crazy enough, even though it's still dark, I am all done with my National Physical Therapy exam. Woo! I am so happy to have it out of the way and done. Now I don't have to worry about studying every night when I'm coming home, and of course I don't have my score yet. I get that within 5 to 6 business days, so it should be sometime next week that I get to learn of my score and figure out if I passed or not. So fingers crossed on that. But overall, going out of the exam, I felt as expected. There were some things that I didn't know or didn't remember, and there were a few things as well that I was like, yes, I remember this concept. Oh, I had a flashcard exactly for this. And just those little sparks throughout it that gave me that confidence to keep going. I did have a little bit of a moment there where they had noise-canceling headphones for us available, and I was like, I might as well use it since it's available. And I think it was right at the end of the first section, I was like, man, I am getting such a headache, And so I just had to take them off, and luckily I was able to focus with all of the clicking from other people at the testing center with them off, but I just knew if I kept them on, I was going to just have a really bad headache and not be able to focus well. So after getting past that, I feel like did great. Got to see some of my classmates who were there who I hadn't seen in a while since they're off at their own clinicals. So it was good to kind of catch up with some people. And then, of course, after I had gotten home, I didn't record very much just because it was my time to relax. And I feel like it's good to give myself that break from even posting and putting videos together so that I can really give myself that chance to truly relax after all the hard work that I've put in. So sorry that you guys didn't get to see as much in terms of the actual test day and everything, but realistically, I went to the test center. I got home afterwards and I just went out to get myself a nice lunch. I took some time to just relax and not really do anything. And then, as you saw, I was going for a walk after I had brought my ballot in to vote because I took some time with all of the free time that I have now that I don't need to study to make sure that I could educate myself on all of the people who are running for my local offices and all of the proposed things that were up for voting, so that way I could make my informed decision. And I believe that this video will be going out before Election Day, so if you haven't already, make sure to go out and vote. It's really important to have your voice heard, and I feel like it's valuable to make sure that you're informed beforehand, so make sure that you take some time to just read into things, because it is important to see how everything that's going on around you, those who you elect into office, will affect everything that's going on around you. So just make sure to inform yourself and go out and vote if you haven't already. But now I am just spending the rest of the evening preparing for tomorrow. I'm probably going to go to bed pretty early, so I'm just putting together my clothes, and we'll probably shower, get a little bit of food before I hit the hay. But as I'm getting prepared, tomorrow we are doing Dress as Your Pet for the rehab theme at the hospital. I'm super excited to kind of see how Halloween works there, because it sounds like it's super fun and we get to do lots of things with the kids. It will be interesting trying to navigate all of the contact and droplet precautions with some of my patients as I am in a Halloween costume, which I'm sure I'm going to have to go in and out of it depending on which patient room I'm in, but it will be something cool to navigate, and I'll make sure to tell you guys how it went. After a long day on Wednesday with the NPTE, it was a really great experience to go into clinic on Halloween at the Children's Hospital, because there was just so much going on. I could feel the excitement from both the patients I worked with as well as all of the employees at the hospital, where we really tried to create an environment that allowed these kids to have a relatively normal Halloween as best as we could. I think one of the great things was just seeing everyone in their costumes, both the patients and the employees, and basically one of the things that I noticed was super fun for me as well was getting to integrate my patients' costumes into what we were doing in therapies for the day. Of course, we also had some events that were going on, like the flash mob that they had on the first floor, some dancing, some costume competitions, everything like that we were able to integrate into our patient's plan of care by integrating, some walking, some endurance, and all of those type of things. And then when I was working with some patients, for example, I had one of my patients was dressed up as a minion, and so one of the things that I had us work on, since we were working on walking endurance, especially with a cognitive task since they had a traumatic brain injury, was I took these yellow circular pieces from a large Connect 4 game that we have in the gym, and I hid them all around, and I was like, okay, we gotta help Gru help steal the moon, and we need to find all of the pieces of the moon to help give back to him, so let's go and find them. And it was just really fun to try and be more and more inventive in my interventions and just have some fun with the patients to really engage them in the Halloween holiday. It was by far the best day I have had at clinic and one of the most enjoyable Halloweens that I have had, because we also got to go out into the community for an outing with another one of our patients who their primary language is Spanish, and it was an interesting thing to navigate considering the live interpreters we usually use at the hospital cannot leave the hospital with us, and the ones that we use over the phone don't really work super well out of the hospital because of the fact that you don't have good reception on those work phones and everything. So we went with a speech language pathologist who's been working with this patient who also speaks Spanish, which was great to have them there for interpretation, but it was a great opportunity for me to try and connect utilizing some of my language learning that I have been doing through Duolingo, with the help, of course, of our speech language pathologist who was able to speak to them very well, which was a great utility to have during that trip. But it was just a great learning experience overall, and just lots of great opportunities at the hospital for Halloween. But that's all that I have for this week. We made it through the NPTE. I'm supposed to hear my scores by about midweek next week, so I'll make sure to update you guys as those come out, but fingers crossed I'll be able to have a nice big pass on my screen and won't have to worry about that again after that, because I felt relatively good after it. I'm hopeful that I will get that passing score. But also, I had mentioned in my most recent NPTE update video that I did reach 2 years on posting on YouTube, so I just wanted to take a moment again to thank you all, since I don't know if you all have watched the NPTE update video, so I wanted to make sure that it reached a bit of a larger audience because I appreciate the support you all have given me. If you have any other suggestions for me in terms of videos you want to see before graduation, after graduation, make sure to leave them in the comments down below, as well as check the link in my description for 20% off a Picmonic subscription and utilize their 5-day free trial to see if it's right for you. But thank you all so much for watching. This has been KBDPT, and I'll see you all in the next video.